Okay, kids, you're back. Thank you. And here we're going to talk about plastic. Is it directly related to climate change, which is the main topic we've been discussing in these series of podcasts? Well, right now we don't know that, but if you're too young, don't worry about the details. If you're old enough, then you can begin to think about how plastic may be affecting climate. Right? You probably heard that plastic is everywhere, especially in the ocean as well, and on land, of course, in rivers, in lakes, everywhere. And we talked about a key concept called albedo when we talked about ocean circulation, energy balance, atmospheric circulation, climate, past ice ages and so on. We said ice is bright, it has high albedo, can reflect the sunlight and make the climate cooler, and oceans can be dark and take up more energy and so on and so forth. So if plastic is everywhere, is it affecting the albedo and the energy balance? This is something that must be figured out. Okay, so we haven't done it yet, but we are working on it. So the other thing is, you also hear plastic is sometimes broken into such small particles. They're called microplastics and nanoplastics, and it's in a tea bag you are dipping in your hot water and it's releasing all these nanoplastics so small that you can't see it, and you're happily drinking your tea and it's all getting into your stomach, and they are so small that they can even get through the stomach lining into the bloodstream maybe, and so on and so forth. I don't want to scare you, but we don't know exactly what the impact of all that plastic is, because plastic nanoparticles are also in the fish we eat. It's found in mother's breast milk as well, and so on and so forth. So it's everywhere. Then what is it doing? We don't know, but we can see it, that it is everywhere, and it's nasty and ugly. And this is what this book by Neil Layton is all about, a planet full of plastic and how you can help. And you are these kids standing here. There's an old man, there's a young kid and a young lady, and so on and so forth. They're standing on a pile of plastic here, of course, because we've covered the entire planet with plastic. And you're asking me, well, if plastic is everywhere and it's so useful, why is it such a bad thing? Why do you keep calling it plastic pollution? So let's start discussing this. And I'm saying, hey, you, hello, yes, you, looking at me. And you say, who, me? And you're reading this book on a planet full of plastic. That's right, you. And a quick question for you: do you ever think what things are made of that you see all around you, or what you're wearing, like your shoes and socks and shorts and underwear and the t-shirt and your hat and even the book you are holding? Some things are made of paper, like this book. Some things are made of wood or metal or glass. So you look around, on the other hand, there is a lot of plastic around you. You don't know what the window material is made of. There's glass, of course, or maybe it's plastic. There's a plastic plant pot here. There's a plastic lampshade here. Plastic wheels on your skates if you have skates. Nice stuff from the supermarket is coming in plastic bags with vegetables wrapped in plastic, fruits in plastic material. The wax that's used on it could be related to plastic. Plastic blend, plastic shaker salt, and pepper shakers. This wood looking thing, table, chairs, even they could be plastic. And of course it's fantastic. It comes in lots of different shapes, sizes, and colors. Miracle material, as we call it. Sometimes it's bendy. Lots of plastic you have is bendy, and sometimes it's made into a hard product like a mug or your milk bottle, and sometimes it's very, very big, like this huge slide. You may be going up and down and don't even know that's plastic as well. And sometimes it's really, really tiny. You can't even see the word tiny here, because that's what is a macroplastic. And if you look around you, Plastic is everywhere. Sometimes it's even on trees because some careless people or some kids for fun have thrown stuff on a tree that's made of plastic. But where does all this plastic come from? A small hint. It does not grow on trees. So if you see something plastic on a tree, don't think that it grew there. It just got thrown there by somebody for fun, or the wind blew it up there. People throw their sneakers on a plastic line or a power line, or so on and so forth. But some things, in fact lots of things, are made of something called plastic. You can see a plastic milk carton here, plastic packer, plastic lid, plastic label, plastic squeezy bottle, your tomato sauce, and your plastic basket. There is a Microsoft cloth that is very useful wiping things out there, a plastic tub, plastic bottle, plastic lid again, and plastic clock as well. And you have a clothes dryer or arranger and a plastic handle. And there is a plastic toy that your dog loves to play with, and there is a nylon lead that you use the dog to walk in the evening, and so on. How is it all made? Well, we take lots of materials, we mix them up in a nice furnace, and we convert it into some moldy material and produce what are called plastic nurdles. They are little plastic things that can be melted and molded into any shape. So you load it onto trucks, you load it onto ships, and boatloads of things, nurdles, going around from continent to continent, from one city to another, one factory to another. There's a factory that's making trillions of straws every day and shipping them off in trucks, and trucks go to the port and load them onto the ship, and then it comes from China to you wherever you are sitting. And there's a plastic bucket factory which is making lots and lots and lots of buckets, and there is a bottle factory which is making billions and billions of bottles every day, and everything you drink often comes in plastic bottles, and you often don't even pay attention to what's happening to all the plastic bags you eat your chips in, or the plastic bottle in which you just had your juice or water, and so on and so forth. What happened? Well, you see, 150 years ago there wasn't any plastic, only materials like wood, metal, paper, and stone. Then one day super chemist Mr. Baekeland made an incredible discovery. He was concocting something in his lab and pouring things in and heating them up and seeing how they can melt and be shaped, or what kind of properties they have when they are melted, and so on. And voila, soon he had created bakelite, and you had bakelite phone here, another bakelite phone, and there is a bakelite switch here, and there's a bakelite vase and a bakelite necklace, and very soon bakelite was being produced everywhere, and things were being made of bakelite everywhere, and everything was being made of bakelites, right? So it was in fact a miracle. It was a great discovery, and it changed our lives forever. Many, many, many good things came out of plastic, but now we have produced so much of it, we produce every day so much of it, and it does not biodegrade. Doesn't mean that it is easily recyclable. Many times you put things in a recycling bin and you think it is getting recycled, but bad things happen when people are not careful, and trucks take it and throw it somewhere, and then it remains forever and ever and ever, because this miracle material, which is made to be strong and flexible and moldable, is also something that nobody eats. Now we have found little bacteria that maybe eat the plastic, but are they able to eat it fast enough? Because we are piling it up very fast, right? So these are all the issues we have to worry about. Even though it is not directly related to climate, I'm including it here because it is part of the big story of how human beings are affecting the environment, water quality, air quality, pollution. This is why I call it, and everybody calls it, plastic pollution. Okay, so now every time you see something plastic and how beautiful it looks, you also need to think, what it's gonna end up doing when it's used and thrown away. Is it getting safely put away somewhere, or is it becoming little pieces and ending up everywhere, including back in the food you are buying or the fish you are eating, and so on and so forth? Okay, we'll come back and discuss more about plastics. And obviously, if you are only focused on climate, you can skip this section, but it's very useful and maybe you want to pay attention to it. Okay, see you soon.